Hey guys, DanO here from the DanO Sonic Ensemble, and today we are going to talk bass. Bass! So, before I start talking bass, I want to give a shout out to one of my good buddies out there, one of my longtime friend and brothers. He was complimenting me on my shirt choice. He says, Dan, you started off with those ratty sleeveless shirts, and then you started wearing some nice shirts, that Guayabera last time. So I thought, all right, man, this one's for you. Let me quickly swap myself into a nice shirt. And there you go. Now looking pretty sharp, ready to talk some bass. Okay, so here we have my bass rig. I have a couple of older basses. I've been playing bass for a long time, so I guess we should just start off with the meme I made, how it started and how it's going, right? Started playing bass when I was 15 or so, and just never stopped, I guess. I've just gone on to more and more different instruments, but always bass is at the bottom of everything, right? So my current bass is this Ibanez, what is this, an SDGR. So these came out in the early 2000s, maybe 04, something like that. And I don't know, I really liked it. I got it used recently, and I had to do a little bit of repair work. Some of the knobs down here were a little wonky. Had to do some work there. Had to readjust the truss rod, as it had a lot of like string buzz on it. So that's a whole nother discussion, and that's why I got, I guess, a good deal on it, because it had seen some use, seen some wear, and it needed some attention, and I gave it some attention, and it came out sounding pretty good. You can see here, let me engage the foot pedal switch. So here you can see my foot pedal. I recently started kind of assembling a pedal board for the bass. I've never really used one before, but let's start off with the tuner, right? I want to make sure this is in tune. So the thing about a 5-string bass is that you can have the 5th string be the high string or the low string. So in this case, I have it as the low B down here. All right, make sure you're in tune for the YouTube video, right? Okay, so on this foot pedal, or pedal board here, I've been assembling some kind of fun stuff. I don't like all of it yet, but the main thing is, up here at the top we have the channel and the ultra bass, and this goes directly into this Behringer amp that I'll talk about in a minute. But I can hit the channel. I have 2 channels on the amp. So that's the higher end channel. That's the lower end channel. And then ultra bass kind of gives like an octaving effect, octaves. Which is excellent. So the thing on this bass I like, we have the 4 knobs down here. We have volume and tone. This is the low EQ, and this is the high EQ. So listen to the way different sounds I can get if I turn the high EQ down and turn the low EQ up. Pretty low. And I'll turn the low down and the high up. So way different sound, right? That one's a little more snacky. I call it the snacky sound. So a lot of mix of sounds you can get here just from the onboard equalization on the guitar. other sound that I'm really enjoying on this pedal board is, you can see right here, this is the Flamma. This is like an envelope sound. So kind of a little bit of an auto wah. Let me zero it out again here. These other sounds are just something I'm messing with here. This is just, it's actually an overdrive pedal from my guitar kit. Had an extra spot, so I thought I'd try it. So just something kind of fun to play with. It's not really a good bass sound, but maybe if you're fiddling around with some leads or something. And then up here I have this other octave pedal that one of my buddies lent me. I'm just trying it out, but this is a weird duck too. Options, but what I really like the best is this Flamma pedal. The envelope sounds pretty cool in certain spots, and then toggling between the low end and high end with these pedals, and on my onboard on guitar equalization over here, the low and the high. So pretty good stuff. All right, let's take a look at this amp. Okay, so the amp I'm playing with these days, this is the Behringer Ultrabass BX1200. And so these are the two channels coming in. Let's start here. We have the active and the passive inputs. So the Ibanez I'm playing is an active guitar, so it has active electronics in there. But we can also plug in a passive there. So if you have a guitar that does not have active electronics, is not driven by a battery, you can go right in there. This is channel 1. And I have the gain right here set to 12 o'clock. And if I hit the foot pedal over here, you see the channel changed, and now we are on channel 2, and I have a little bit more of a shape sound on channel 2, so that gives me a slightly different sound. I like to really pump the shape so it sounds different and gives me a new tone. Both channels are driven by these 4 EQs here: the bass, the low mid, the high mid, and the treble. And then here's that ultra bass sound. So again, watch right there on that light. If I hit the pedal, so there you go. So again, I like to really crank the ultra bass so I can hear a distinct tone. This is a pretty handy amp, right? You can see it's sitting on a kind of a wedge style, so it rocks back. But if I pull this up, okay, so on the back end here, we can see there's a headphone out right there. This is the main speaker out that goes from the board into the actual speaker cabinet itself. We have a direct out, which is an XLR. I use this a lot when recording. So I'll run from the board, or from this right to the board, get a direct signal. We have the tuner out that I'm not currently using. We can plug another amp in there. We have a preamp out right there. And then we have some RCA cables, tape in and tape out there. And then the foot switch right there, which I have plugged into. So very versatile for a fairly low cost amp. And so there you go, a quick rundown of the bass rig, at least as it stands in late July 2022. So let's see if you guys, anyone who can name this song, put it in the comments below. Right on, guys. Thanks for checking this one out. and do all the likey, subscribey stuff. Be sure to listen to the tunes. We got some new stuff coming out real soon, and don't forget, dose.